Hi, welcome to Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Paul Lisnick. Most of us know people, adults, children with developmental disabilities, and sometimes we think there's not a lot maybe you can do to help them, and boy, are we wrong. Meet my next guest who's going to tell us that there's a lot of hope to be had in so many ways. Tony Paulauski, he's the executive director for the ARC of Illinois, who has devoted so much of his career to assisting people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And you and I were talking, Tony, the truth is this is one area where you don't talk about the good old days. You can kind of talk about the bad old days, because today we get it so much better.
We do. And the ARC has been a leader in promoting inclusive educational work and community living environments for folks with intellectual disabilities, certainly for my career.
Well, you've been doing it over 60 years. I've been doing the math, so probably 66 years. And so now the work that you do, though, is in the world of legislation, right? Because this is really about making sure that there are laws that get protected that help and protect those folks.
Absolutely. The ARC in Illinois writes most of the disability and special education legislation here. So we're a force in Springfield, and then in Washington, D.C. as well. But most of my work is done in Springfield with lawmakers.
And so I want to talk a little about the work you do, because I mean, you try and pinpoint in an area, you can't do that. So one realm you've worked in is the criminal justice system, and very important legislation when it came to the death penalty.
Yeah, we many years ago wrote the legislation that abolished the death penalty for people who had the label of having an intellectual disabilities. The reason we did that is because oftentimes when people with intellectual disabilities get caught up in a criminal justice system, they'll admit to things that they maybe haven't done to please, like a police officer or a public prosecutor. And
that, of course, led them to be put to death.
Absolutely, yes.
A broken system that had to get fixed, certainly. But it's not just the world of criminal justice, and there's so much more to talk about there. But in the healthcare area, when it comes to folks who need dental care, you wrote some legislation, worked on legislation that helped with regard to sedation. Explain that.
Yeah, we're partnering with Autism Speaks right now to get coverage, have insurance companies pay for sedation if the person has intellectual or developmental disability.
And that's because perhaps in another situation where somebody didn't have those disabilities, the insurance companies might go, you know what, sedation's a luxury, you don't need that. Very different when you're working with somebody with emotional disability.
Absolutely, and a very expensive venture as well.
So that's in progress right now?
That's in progress, yeah.
I also want to switch to another area because education's so very important. I mean, you know, there used to be a day, as I say, the bad old days, when if somebody had an intellectual or developmental disability, they weren't in school, there was not much. That's different today.
Yes, and what we really push for is that people are included in their local schools, going to school with their neighbors and their friends, and the whole system of support from childhood to adulthood should focus around the family and not moving people away from their family.
And this legislation is about when they get ready to enter the working world.
Well, that's our transition legislation, absolutely. And it works with, actually it's mandated in the schools where now they have to do a transition plan that starts at age 14. And the idea there is to work with the individual so that when they leave special education, they've got a life after special education and hopefully a job. People
that want to help out financially, where can they give us your website?
All right, you can go to Google the ARC of Illinois. And we've got a wealth of information there for
check it out and help financially too. That's important because Lord knows the state, you ain't going to get money there. My guest has been Tony Paulauski, Executive Director for the ARC of Illinois. I'm Paul Lisnick. They do such good work. This is Comcast Newsmakers. Thanks for watching.